Hello everyone, this is Dr. Thu Aung from SwanArh English Language Center, P.H.D. In today's lessons, you are going to learn how to use say, tell, speak and talk. If you frequently mix up the verbs say, tell, speak and talk, you are not alone. There are some of the most commonly confused English words. They seem like they all mean the same thing and they are similar, but we actually use them differently in English. In today's lessons, you are going to learn the difference between say, tell, speak and talk and help you avoid some common mistakes with these words. Okay, let's start with how to use tell. Tell means to give facts and information to a person or someone. For example, I'll tell you some things about myself. She might as well tell the entire things. In the second example sentence, we use the modal auxiliary verb might as well. When we want to describe we should do it, there is no better alternative or there is no reason not to do it. We use the modal auxiliary verb might as well. Tell usually has a person following the verb. It could be a name or a pronoun, so tell and told are always followed by a person. On the other hand, when we use tell, we also include the object. For example, objective pronoun you or her or us immediately after the verb. For example, it might be a good idea to tell Lena what about the books. I tell her she must go. We use tell plus the persons you are talking to plus reported speech. For example, I can tell Sheila that he was a heroin addict. We don't use I can said Sheila that he was a heroin addict. The second example sentence is incorrect. If you tell the time, you reach the time on a clock or a watch. For example, so your watch should tell the time accurately. The verb tell is used when we say something to someone and is commonly used when we giving an order or instruction. For example, I told my son to brush his teeth. The teacher told the class to do their homework. We use tell without an direct object with words such as a story, a joke, a line, the truth. For example, Blinds, what did I tell you? Why didn't you tell me? Tell him to come later. Let's move on how to use say. Say means to express something using words. For example, Frances says she likes chocolate. Nice to meet you, Harry said. Say never has a person following the verb. This means that when we use say, we don't use an object. For example, objective pronouns such as me, them, you, immediately after the verb. For example, Amelia said she would be back soon. We use say plus reported speech. Do not refer to the person you are talking to. For example, he said that his friends didn't want to know him. We don't use he said her that his friends didn't want to know him. The second example sentence is incorrect. Say yes means accept or say no means refused. They are strong English collocations. For example, I said no to a second helping of pie, but I said yes to a cup of coffee. The verb say is used when we quote people directly and also when we give instructions. For example, The weatherman said it would rain today. I won't say this again. Will you please get ready for school now? Say can also be used to express an opinion or thought, as in, I say, we should give each person 20 tickets each to sell. Sometimes, see and tell can be used interchangeably to express the same meaning when information is being passed from one person to another. In this case, the construction would be tell plus object or say plus to plus object. For example, Laura told me that she would be late for work. Laura said to me that she would be late for work. Here, learners of English often make mistakes like he said me or she said me that. This is incorrect. Don't forget to include to between said and the object. Just as you would send a letter to someone, you would also say something to someone. The preposition to shows the direction in which the information is going. The verb tell can be used to refer to a chart or graph. For example, the chart tells us how many students were enrolled. However, it is better to use language that is more impersonal. For example, the chart shows us how many students were enrolled. The verb say can be used to talk about charts. We don't write from the chart I can say how many students. This is incorrect. Let's go on how to use speak. We can also use speak to describe verbal fluency or knowledge of languages. As in, he speaks 3 languages fluently, German, French, and Spanish. In this context, speak simply means that the person knows the languages. It doesn't only refer to spoken ability. We use the verb speak instead of talk when we are in more formal situation and wish to emphasize that something is important. For example, we need to speak about your attendance this term, stricter than talk about. John will be speaking at an international conference next month, more prestigious than give a talk on. When the verb speak is used as a noun speech, it also takes on a more formal tone than when we use talk. That is, give a speech is more formal than give a talk. For example, although not a winning public speaker, she was determined to give a speech. We use speak and spoke with languages and with talking in general, no specific details. We can use speak with someone and speak to someone. For example, we spoke to the boss this morning. General conversation, no specific details. I need to speak with you about the new project. General topics, no details. In that case of speak with someone and speak to someone, you can also say talk to or talk with. Let's go ahead how to use talk. We use the verb talk when we are in a more relaxed setting or when we are among friends in a conversational situation. You can think of talk as a slightly more formal word for chat. For example, sorry, who were you talking to before I interrupted? I was talking with my mom the other day and we decided that. I love chatting with my mates' friends over a cup of tea, very informal. The verb talk collocates with the nouns such as sense, nonsense, rubbish, and drivel. For example, don't talk rubbish, girl. Other editors try to talk sense into her but without success. You can use talk with languages. I don't talk Chinese. This is incorrect. I don't speak Chinese is correct. Often speak and talk can be used interchangeably to give the same meaning, and there is no need to change the grammar of the sentence. For example, I will speak or talk with you about this more on Monday. We can speak or talk about the new project next week. This is a summarized table, helps to study differences between the verbs say, tell, speak and talk. We use say to speak about something, often reporting on what is being said. We do not include an object. For example, Rosie said she was free this afternoon. Using the verb tell to deliver information to someone, we include an object. For example, Rosie told me she was free this afternoon. We use the verb speak to exchange information about something. This is formal. The verb speak can be used to cover languages. Example, Georgie speaks three languages fluently. We use the verb talk to exchange information about something. This is informal. The verb talk cannot be used to cover languages. For example, Georgie talks three languages fluently. This is incorrect. Using the verb say doesn't require a second person to engage with. For example, I said I wasn't going swimming tonight. Using the verb tell doesn't require a second person to engage with. For example, I told you before that I'm not interested in you in that way. Using the verb speak requires a second person to engage with. For example, let's speak about the class rules again before we continue. Using the verb talk requires a second person to engage with. For example, we can talk about it more than you feel less angry. The verb say is mostly interchangeable with tell. The grammatical structure must be altered. For example, Richard said that he would be late home tonight. The verb tell is mostly interchangeably with say. The grammatical structure must be altered. For example, Richard told me that he would be late home tonight. The verb speak is mostly interchangeable with talk. The grammatical structure needn't be altered. For example, we will speak about the plans for our summer holiday when I next see you. The verb talk is mostly interchangeable with speak. The grammatical structure needn't be altered. Example, we will talk about the plans for our summer holiday when I next see you. Now, I hope you have a better idea of how to use the verb say, tell, speak and talk. Thanks for attending the class. Have a nice day. Thank you.